Morning. Oops. Only one camera working. What's going on here? Hey, OC Omega, how you doing? Hey, Andrew. Let me get something better looking up here. Congratulations. 506 subs. That's great. Hey, D. Oh, no big deal. Whenever. No worries. Hey, my camera still works for my microscope. It took a big fall today. I figured I broke it. Let's see if it's still working. Hey, still working. All right. Truly thought I lost this one today. Oh, cool. How's it going? What's it up to, Andrew? Almost big enough. Let's see here. There we go. Cool. Well, I hope it skyrockets for you. Just checking coins. Oh, only one bid so far. Thank you. This is the last of the seeded before they ended up with stars like that one. These are half dimes. I actually got this coin. This is one of my, I call them story coins. So any of my coins that has a good story behind it. And another one of the coins I'll never sell. This one was purchased for, I think, $2 or $3. It was in a silver world bin. He thought it was a world coin. But I did take it back because I didn't have my glasses, so I went back and paid about half of what it's worth, a price that he had picked. Michael, hey Michael, how you doing? Yeah, it was a great find, but at a shop that I deal with frequently, so there was no way I could take advantage of him. He's been way too kind. And I don't think I could with even a stranger. I'm one of those guys. Karma would eat at me, I'm sure. Cool. I just got and I was trying to find them earlier, but I haven't found them yet. For $136, I purchased 75 rolls of circulated wheat. But in that group, I found a 1984 DDO double deer in about MS65 grade. Beautiful coin. Sold it for more than I paid for the whole lot. And 2 tubes of brilliant, beautiful, uncirculated red wheats that were 1934 to 1958 with quite a few of the mint marks. I think it went to like 1950 or 51, but I have all the rest, so that's a pretty perfect thing. Michael, how you doing?
Doing well yourself?
Doing pretty good today.
Good. Glad to hear that.
So you getting close to having everybody? And then
We just got 2 people didn't give me their finalists. That's Hector and Sheldon. I know Hector said he's working on it, and I hope Sheldon is too.
good.
So we'll see. They got about 14 hours, 15 hours or so to get it done. So, but yeah, everybody else got their stuff into me, so that's good, and got all the prizes except for Hector's. But Hector told me what he's sending, so when we get to that, I'll just tell everybody what it is, and they might have to wait a day or two to get his prize. But that's all.
Cool. That'll work.
Yep. What date is that one there?
It's a 1800 one. It's messed up date, so it kind of obliterated.
Has that one got any of the errors on it?
I'm not familiar with this one, so I'm not.
1801, isn't that the one that's famous for the 3 errors reverse?
Yeah, I don't know my errors on these old ones.
Well, you look down at the fraction on the bottom, and
yeah, I do know that one. Extra bar or whatever.
or is that a half cent?
Oh yeah, it is a half
No,
cent.
that's a half. Okay, I thought it might have been a large cent. Yeah,
But
I've got a large cent that has the 3 errors.
I've got that too. Let me see where my large cent went.
Andrew would enjoy any of the prizes. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good prizes for sure. And 2 different people are won multiple finalist spots, so that's pretty cool.
That's great.
I didn't think that would happen given like how many entries there were across all the different videos, but 2 channels ended up picking one finalist, and 2 other channels picked the other finalist. So 2 people have double the odds, I guess.
That's the odds of that. Man, that's got to be out there.
Yeah. Well, and that's so far. Who knows who Hector and Sheldon's going to pick as their finalist? You never know.
Yeah. Be 4 times picked.
You never know. Yeah, I didn't think that would even happen given how many people entered, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, I was thrilled to see a name I recognize, not someone that's in my chat room all the time. I think
Sure.
once or something, but still a name from the community that's actually in here and participating, which is great.
Yeah, the person I picked for my channel's got a channel pretty active in the community. I think they've got over 1,000 subscribers of their own, and hopefully they'll be watching and they'll be excited about it too. So, I know a couple of the names coming from other channels are, people I've never heard of, and it's just when you look at them, and it's just they don't have any content or something. But that's going to happen. I mean, it doesn't mean they're a fake account or anything. I mean, a lot of people just don't put out comments. So,
yep, tons. I've subscribed to many channels that have nothing going on.
Sure.
And some of them have been there for years and years. So.
Well, and I know a couple of the people were concerned about accounts just getting signed up for this, but I told people not to worry about that either, because I know I had these on display at Long Beach. I know PCGS tweeted out about this thing, and so we might have people signing up just for this, and that's totally legit.
A huge plus.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So I said, because some people are saying, oh, should we pick again if we pick somebody that has nothing? I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you how to run your channel and how to pick your person, but I wouldn't do that. I mean, I don't think that would be fair. So.
Nope. And that's why I filmed mine. It's like,
yeah,
you should film it and do it at, the last minutes or two from the end of the day.
OC Omega says, I'd love to have 1,000. Well, you'll get there, buddy. Just keep at it. Let me see. I don't even think I'm subscribed. Well, you got one more now. Now you're at 507.
Yeah, I don't think I had 1,000 subs at 5 years. I think I did about 6 or 7.
Oh, look at my channel. I started it in 2007, so it's been over 12 years. And I mean, I wasn't really trying for the first 11 and a half of that. But.
Yeah, I didn't even do videos for about 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first videos I did were in like 2012, I think. So, yeah, the first 5 or 6 years I didn't do any videos. So.
Oh, OC Omega's got some videos too. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check them out. I'm subbed now as well.
That's how you do it, OC Omega. You just going into chats and making friends is one way to grow a little faster. Another tip that I've learned, there's channels that are like the sub for sub channels. You can kind of cheat and grow fast, but I wouldn't recommend that, because for one, it's against YouTube rules, and two, the quality of subscriber you get is pretty poor. Eventually, they're going to see all your videos and not be interested, and they're going to unsubscribe you anyway, probably. But one way to do it is find channels related to your interests or just things you like, and especially bigger channels. Find someone that's got 10, 20, maybe even 100,000 subs that you like, and set your bell on the notification, so as soon as they post their next video, just rush onto that video and leave a good comment as soon as you can. Don't even watch the whole video. Just do it immediately, and then like your own comment right away. And as long as you got a halfway good comment, people will start liking it too, and you'll be right at the top of their comments list. And then when the next 1,000 or 5,000 people watch that video, they'll scroll into the comments and see your name first. And as long as you got like a halfway interesting comment, you'll get some people checking you out. And you don't get a ton of growth that way, but you get some people, and the people that actually read your stuff and take the time to click on your channel and look into you, they're going to be people that are going to stick with you.
And I sub to about 90% of the people who follow my streams. I try to do everyone, but that one just doesn't work out with my streams. My streams are too long.
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be a channel for that, like OC Omega, and something that you're related to. If you just follow, like I follow a couple sports channels and stuff, and people post videos about baseball, and I just happen to be one of the first commenters on one of those one time, and I go back and look, and I made a nice little funny comment about their video, and I go back and look a day later, and I have over 1,000 thumbs up just on my comment, and I guarantee you, just because my name is Michael Kittle Rare Coins, there had to be at least a few coin people that saw that and clicked on me, just because I was at the top of a video that gets tens and hundreds of thousands of views. So it's just harder to be that top comment in a really big channel. But it's just one strategy that I learned from some others. Hey, Lincoln, how you doing?
All right, Lincoln. Hello.
And that's the thing, Andrew. If you can put some cool comments and videos from those outdoor channels, and then you get other people, from those channels interested in you, and then you bring those people into the coin community, that helps all of us grow. Because if all that we do is get each other subscribers, then we're all just going to have the same number at the end of the day, and it's all the same people talking to each other. But each of us have our own interests, and if we can each bring a few new people into the mix, then that helps everybody eventually.
Like you do in the show. That's a group that I'm sure a lot of them don't realize there's such a big amount of us on YouTube.
Well, that's true, yeah. $18.91. That's a nice Indian headset there.
Yeah, it's got some good details.
Got a lot of meat on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta hit the like button. I didn't do that yet. There we go.
Thank you. And that's one thing when I started doing my videos, I really pushed that I truly didn't care if you subbed me. I was just trying to get my message out on the coin, share my hobby and my collection with people. And if you watch my old videos, I say it in almost every video, I'd rather see a comment than a subscription.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a bigger one. Worse condition. But the date's all there.
1806.
Pretty pitted. But cool to have the design. That's one of my type coins. It was the first one I got. Now I've got a better one in that spot.
Oh, yeah? Wow. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Fun stuff. That's the problem with having a big collection, though. I lose things so quickly. It's so frustrating. There's things I've been searching for 5-6 years and haven't found. Hey, DC, how you doing? Uh-oh, somebody's a sleepyhead. We're past Lincoln's bedtime. Oh, whoa, I didn't realize it was 1. Yeah, way past Lincoln's bedtime. What are you doing up, Lincoln?
Oh, yeah, I know I'm not going to be on very long tonight. I got to get a good night's sleep, too, tomorrow. I got a little bit of a live stream to do and give away a couple coins. So, gotta get ready for that.
Hey, Mr. Monkey Swag, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Doing.
I'm fine.
That too,
I'm just staying up. It's like 3 o'clock in my area because I'm from Central Time, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. I'm just staying up late to study, but I mean you guys can talk while I study. But I really like that Drake Bust Larson.
Yeah, I've got a better one, but I don't have my coins too well put together right now. So I've been streaming too much and not putting things away.
You know, I for a long time I've avoided buying base metal coins like copper or copper nickel or stuff like that. But if I do get into collecting copper coins, I would like to collect only large cents and half cents. You know, the big copper coins, the early coppers.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean the small cents really don't interest me that much. I mean, I might get a 2 cent piece just for the sake of adding to the typeset, but overall, the smaller coppers don't interest me. I mean, um, it's the big half cents and large cents that I find interesting, and also the colonials. I would like to get a colonial copper as well.
Yeah.
Probably, probably the only the only the only copper coin that I'll spend big money on will probably be a Fujio cent because those are really cool.
Yeah, really cool.
A New Jersey copper can be had for not much if you buy a corroded one, like a New Jersey copper. And the Virginia coppers are actually quite cheap.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't looked into those, but I do admire them.
So yeah, some of the colonial coins are accessible. Like some of the colonial coppers are, reasonably priced and accessible for even collectors on a budget, like the Virginia coppers, from what I've seen. Because people still find these coins metal detecting.
And the ones I'm showing, these are like from my typeset. So there's a first year type. Here's a first year type, 1808.
So is that a classic head, the one on top?
Yeah. So I just,
But the date is really worn off.
yeah, and I've got a better one, and that's why this one's no longer in that type set. But that's the way I started. I just got ones that I wasn't that worried about the date. I was more worried about the design.
Yeah, we all got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So you upgrade over time as you gain more wealth. When you get a job, that's when you start upgrading.
Yeah, and not so much that for me as just being lucky in the right place at the right time when a coin's a real good price. Just happened to be there.
So I mean, if you have a coin where the date's worn off, maybe you could just carry it as a pocket piece.
Yeah, well, for the type albums, it's great for the older ones because, most people don't have those in great condition ever. So I think there's 90 something coins in that set. So not too bad to just have a half a dozen to a dozen of them with poor dates.
So, do any of you guys know why Dansko got rid of the gold page? Like, they don't include a gold page anymore? Like, only the older Danskos have a gold page?
I thought they offered it separately still. Did
Yeah, they
they?
sell it separately.
Oh, it's separately. So, why is it separate? Because gold's inaccessible to the average collector?
Probably. They don't want to force people to have that page and people that can't afford it and not, ever finish it.
Yeah. But of course, the regular Dansko even has some coins that are pretty pricey as well. Like the seeded dollar and the trade dollar are pretty pricey.
Yeah, I mean, remember, it's only a partial typeset. It's not a complete typeset, I mean, by any means. So it's yeah, it's tough to fill for sure for some collectors.
Yeah.
And especially depending on what kind of grades you want to do. I mean, if you try to do it all in mint state, you're going to be spending tens of thousands of dollars.
I mean, the gold page is only expensive based on the fact that the coins are gold, but none of the coins in the page are rare because you don't see the classic
No, but
head.
remember, it's also missing coins. They only do the type 1 and type 3 gold dollar. They don't do the type 2.
Yeah,
They don't put a
and no $3 piece.
Yeah, I mean, so they make it easy, but it's not really a complete typeset then either. It's just, But yeah, for many years, I mean, for probably 3 or 4 years, it was hard to even get the 7070 typeset album because they were sort of out of print and the company just wasn't making any more. I used to be able to sell used copies of it on eBay for $50 to $75.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They were out of print at one point?
Oh yeah, for a few years.
Yeah,
I
I
was
did
selling
too.
used copies, like even older ones, for $50, no problem.
Yep. Yeah, and some
Oh yeah,
nicer went for
oh, go
100.
ahead.
The nicer ones went for $100, even used.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would find those at coin shows and buy them every time I found them, and then try to sell them.
Dansko did a album of the Libertads, the Mexican bullion coins. So I find that pretty interesting. So does a bullion coin have to be particularly long running and popular to get a Dansko? Because I don't see a Dansko for any of the Perf Mint stuff, but I do see a Dansko for the Libertads.
I think it's because those catch the eye so much. Everybody likes them.
Yeah, the Libertads, there are some key. I mean, the Libertads are just like eagles. They are mass-produced bullion coins with and their finish is and their design is similar to an eagle. They both show some type of goddess and have a matte finish, and they do have key. They do have quite a few key dates in the Libertad series, just like the eagle has the 1996. 1996 mint state. I forgot the Dansko for the Eagles. They don't include the proofs, right?
Not in a regular album usually. No.
Oh, okay. So you won't see a slot for the 95W proof, right?
No. But you got to remember, it's hard to find. What do you call it? When you're talking about the Libertad, it's hard to find a lot of the World Coin albums of Dansko at all. I mean, I know like they have Mexican typeset or Canadian typeset albums, and those are real tough to find sometimes.
Yeah, and the Mexican typeset does have a gold page because the gold coins are really common. They're just restrikes. They're just bullion pieces.
Yeah. Well, and then
Like
another
50
one that's really hard to
peso.
find is their Philippine typeset album because that's a real popular one too.
Oh wow, is this like the U.S. Philippines? You mean?
It has the Spanish Philippines, a page for those. It has the U.S. Philippines. And then it has like a spot for like the MacArthur commemoratives, the Bataan Death March coin, and then it's got like the modern coin. It's it's a pretty good album.
Yeah, maybe they should just make a Dansko for like all the territory, like combine all the U.S. territories into one Dansko. It's like, so for example, there's the Hawaii, the Puerto Rico, the maybe I wouldn't say Cuba because I wouldn't consider Cuba to be a U.S. territory back then, even though the U.S. Mint did produce coins for Cuba. Right. But yeah, Philippines, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico.
Well, a fun set that a lot of people put together I don't even know if they make an album for it, are just all the coins struck by the U.S. Mint for other countries. I mean, there's a whole book on it. I forgot exactly what the book's called, but I mean, it goes through all the different coins that U.S. has made for other countries, and that's definitely something. I see people walking around with the book, some of the older guys at coin shows, and it's a book from like the 60s, I think. So, but yeah, they try to collect them all.
Oh, I'm surprised that Rick Kelly's set is dated 1958. I thought they stopped using that design during the 1940s.
Well, I think this one isn't this one the one that they started minting.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's what they use by Charles Barber.
Yeah, it's just that they stopped being a U.S. Territory in 1945 after the war, but they continued using the obverse design. And then they just changed the reverse to their own. Instead of having the American shield with the eagle, they got their own. But our eagle's still on there. If you look real close, it's part of their shield.
Like they use two different type of American shield eagles on there, like two different type of heraldic eagles. Like the first one just said United States of America, but when Philippines became semi-autonomous, when they're just a commonwealth, they switched to a smaller eagle.
Yeah, because for the first, I think until maybe about 1930 something, it was a territory, and then it became a commonwealth, so slightly different.
Yeah. So I believe the Douglas MacArthur are actually the first coins issued by independent Philippines.
Yeah, they were issued as a commemorative, and I mean they were all struck in San Francisco, but yeah, they were actual
Yeah.
coins of the Philippines. Yep.
Yeah, they're commemoratives. They're not even circulating commemoratives either
No,
because all the ones I've seen are in mint state, so they obviously didn't circulate.
no, they didn't. I don't think any of them circulated. Not that I've
That's
ever.
why they're so cheap now.
Yeah, but if you can find a nice high grade example with some pretty toning, they can go for big bucks.
Oh
I've
yeah,
sold one set for over $2,000.
I've seen your set on your website, and you made a video of it as well.
Yeah, I've had a couple different really nice sets, but one set in particular graded 66 and 66 plus, and it had beautiful toning, and I think I sold it for a little over $2,000. And I bought
I
it.
like it.
I bought it in a pawn shop in Maui for I think
What?
$30.
A pawn shop? Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, I like those. I like those vintage bars. Well, actually, the first bar was a vintage bar, but the
Yeah,
second bar is made. Yeah, that's a vintage one, definitely 1980s or 1970s.
and
While the second bar, yeah, the second bar was made in 2010, right?
I think so. It's just a nickel. Yeah,
Oh,
2010.
yeah.
It was part of one of the sets I got, and odd stuff like that catches my eye.
So, what was buying silver like during the 1980s?
Well, during the 70s is when it was fun. Well, because you're still finding it in bank rolls all the time, solid rolls. So,
all right.
Is that also when? That's also when they had the art bar craze, right?
see, I wasn't into that part of it. I was collecting type coins and penny rolls. So,
Yeah.
not really sure. When I was like 12 or 13, I had a coin club that I joined, and the president of the club took me to their house and showed me for the first time, the 20 cent, the 2, 3 cent, all those. And I didn't know they existed. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, I would love to get a 20-cent piece. I know the most common is 1875 San Francisco. I don't know. I think the 1875 Philadelphia is one of the better dates,
yeah.
which is pretty rare to see a Philadelphia coin being a better date.
For the 20 centers, what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
1875 is a 1875 Philadelphia is a better date.
Yeah,
While
when I
the
try,
most
when I try to get one of those as a type coin for someone, I always try to get the 75 Philadelphia or the 75 CC.
Yeah, because that Carson City is cool.
Yeah, and I
yeah.
mean, depending on what grade you get, of course, it's just so much cooler just having the really common estimate.
Yeah, I mean, if I do get the S-Mint, it would have to be. I would probably buy the S-Mint in a pretty high grade, like AU
Sure.
and up, AU or Mint State. But I don't think it's worth it to get it like lower. But I don't know. It depends on what I'm focusing on buying. I mean, I might buy a 75S in like very fine 30 if I want to buy some other coin.
All right.
Like for example, I mean, because I mean, I might save up to buy like also to buy a draped bus quarter
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
enough detail there in that grade to make it worth it.
I mean, for these older coins, like the really really old ones, I mean, I won't buy anything that's under a good for the 1700s to early 1800 type coins. I mean, yeah, it's not really worth it to buy like an about good two or something. But yeah, I mean a fair two. I mean, it's not worth it to buy something like that in that grade. Though I did see a Drake Bus quarter that is graded. about good 3 that looks like a good 4 to me. So I mean,
Yeah,
I
depending on
might
your
buy
buying. I mean,
something
if
like
you're trying to
that.
get like the 1796 quarter, where it's the 1 year type coin, sometimes like a real expensive coin like that, you can find a coin that's a fair 2 or an about good 3 that you might be able to live with because that might be all you can afford. I mean,
Yeah, it's the small eagle, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, the small eagles are rare.
Oh yeah, especially when that one's always in demand. I mean, the mintage I think was a little over 6,000 coins, and it's just a 1 year type coin because it's the only year of that, and it's the first year
6,000
of a
mintage.
quarter, and it's just one that's always popular.
So if that's a 6,000 mintage, then the survival rate must be very very low.
I would think so. Yeah.
So I don't know. So if it has a 6,000 mintage, then the survival rate's probably just like like a dozen or something.
Nah, that's more than that. I mean, because I mean, there's dozens of mint state examples out there still. Because I mean, being a first year of issue, some of them did get saved. I mean, by people, and
Yeah,
but
souvenirs.
I would say that the total number around is probably in a couple hundred, maybe in all grades.
Yeah, that's still a low survival rate.
Just like when you look at the $17.94, I think the mintage of that was, I don't even remember, somewhere maybe up to 2,000 or so, but they've got a census of every one of them that's known. There's a whole book just on the $17.94. I think there's somewhere around 140 of them known.
So, Michael, have you ever handled any of the pine tree or willow tree or oak tree type the shillings? Like, have you ever touched any of those
Yeah, I
or
mean, I
dealt
see
in?
them in auctions and in lot viewing and look at them there and stuff, but I've never really dealt in any of them myself.
And I think it's the willow tree is so rare that you could actually hold the entire surviving population in like 2 hands.
Yeah, that's like the earlier ones, just the New England shillings, the NEs. Yeah, those are
Oh yeah, and
all
I've
worth like
seen
$500,000 each or something, and there's only a few of each kind known or something like that.
yeah, I mean I've seen like a New England elephant copper. Like speaking of coppers earlier, I seen a New England elephant copper, and I considered getting one, but it was like an about good 3.
Yeah.
So you can barely see the elephant. That you can barely see the trunk of the elephant. So I don't know. It was really worth it to get it.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you gotta always weigh that's like the pros and cons. Is like at some point, if it's something where it becomes affordable, but you can't even see the main parts of the design, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. People run into that all the time when they're putting type sets together, and when they get to where they want to buy a chain set, for example, and yeah, you can usually see the chain even in a real low grade, or even if it's corroded or has problems. But a lot of times you can't even see the date, or you don't see any of the details of Lady Liberty, or I mean, so it's like at some point it's like people have to make that decision. Well, you either want one or you don't, or you just gotta save up a lot more than you thought you had to spend and to get what you want. So.
I almost forgot the chain scent even existed. Like, how many years did they even use the chain scent?
Just the one. Just part of
This one?
1793. Yep.
Yeah, and that was before the Liberty Cap. So yeah, the chain scent was when it had the flowing hair design, right?
Yeah. So they had the chain
Okay.
scent, and then they went to the what is it? What do they even call it? It's
Liberty Cap.
the wreath scent. So it was a little bit different, and then they went to the Liberty Cap, I think.
And I remember that the chain scent was kind of criticized because of the way Lady Liberty looked, the flowing hair design, because it looked like she was shocked or like scared or something.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't think it was a very attractive coin, and then other people had problems with the whole idea of having a chain on it. If we're supposed to be free, and then you put a big chain on it. That's at least what some people write about it. I don't know what's really what people in 1793 really felt about it, but yeah, they had that one, and then they did the wreath scent, and then they went into the Liberty Cap. So there's 3 different main 1793s, but then there's even if you look at all the different varieties, there's even more because you got like the strawberry leaf scent, which I think there's only like 3 of those known, or maybe 4 of them known.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wait, so the strawberry leaf is a variety of which coin?
of the wreath scent.
Leaf coin, okay.
So most of them have like a little. I think it's an olive leaf, maybe, or something like that, like right above the date. But the strawberry ones like kind of got like it looks like little clovers, but they've called it strawberry leaf forever, which I don't even.
Oh, what does the strawberry leaf actually look like? Like, are you talking about the leaves on top of the strawberry when you buy it at the
I
supermarket?
guess that's what they call it. I mean, I don't know if they really do look like strawberry leaves, but that's just what the scent's always been called.
And plus, copper, I guess strawberry leaf makes sense because copper is red.
Well, no, it's really weird though because there's like I think there's like 3 or 4 of them known, and I think the highest grade is like a VG or a fine. There's like no high grade examples of it known.
Wow.
And I think the
And
last
what
time
was
the highest grade one sold, it sold for right about $1 million.
so
Like
VG
I
and
said,
fine? So what's the
I
survival rate?
think it's a fine maybe.
So what's the survival rate on those?
Oh, like I said, there's just a couple known.
Oh, couple.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 maybe.
So that's like pattern type rarity.
Oh yeah, and that's why people don't know if it really was a separate variety or if it's just one of the dyes. Someone didn't know how to carve the leaves right, so it came out with a weird. So it's not even clear why it was even done. And then you got others like the when you get into the Liberty Caps ones, you got the what is it? So I think I don't even know how many different varieties of 1794s are, but there's people that specialize just in 1794 large scents, all the different varieties. There's books just on the 1794, and it's just like you got some of the varieties like the starred reverse, where you got little stars between each of the denticles. I mean, that's a real popular one, but also pretty expensive too. I think even examples like in Good or so go for like 20 or 30 grand.
Hmm.
So it pays to know the different varieties when you're getting into the early copper for sure. And many of those varieties, it's just like looking at the VAMs on Morgan dollars and Peace dollars. It's like a lot of them, just the average collector, you would never ever notice. It's just such subtle differences in the dyes that you really got to kind of be an expert in the series to be able to identify some of them.
Yeah, the bus half dollars. You know how their varieties are Overtons, while the bus quarters are Brownings. So I don't know why whoever did the Overtons didn't just decide to do the bus quarters as well. So there's like the varieties called different things like Browning and Overtons.
Well, it's just the people that wrote the books on the different things, so that's why they're
Yeah,
called that. So
yeah. So I mean, I just don't get why Mr. Overton didn't write quarters as
who knows?
well.
Maybe they just weren't interested in the quarters. I mean, but then a lot of them are cross referenced. I mean, you got Walter Breen who did the Encyclopedia of Everything. A lot of them, almost every coin has a Breen reference number. But the problem with that is
Yeah,
a lot of the Breen numbers a lot of the things Breen
I
wrote are wrong. So a lot of people don't use those reference numbers anymore. But sometimes that's all you have.
I bought his book from Half Price Books
Yeah.
recently. I should really look into it.
There's a lot of good information still in there, but sometimes if it's something that you should always look for another source too, because a lot of stuff from his writing has been corrected. Because it seems like,
Oh yeah,
and this is just what I've heard. I don't know but a lot of the things when Breen would do his research, if he didn't know for sure, he would just sort of guess, but nobody could tell when he's guessing or when he knows for sure. He just didn't really always. He would never say, "I don't know." He would just come up with it, and he would just fill in the blanks on a lot of stuff. That's what I've heard, at least. So some of the stuff in there is just completely wrong, which which hurts as a reference.
yeah. That's why there's also Wayne Miller, like somebody who's more specialized in the Morgan dollars. That you'll probably like yeah, you have to like all these survival estimates are really just a culmination of different estimates by different experts, just an average of all their estimates. So, I mean, there's other people you should, read about for either specializing in the series, like Morgan Dollars, like Wayne Miller.
Yeah. Hmm.
Michael?
Yeah. How you doing, Hector?
Hey, how you been?
Okay.
I sent you an email.
I did. I just sent you one back. So yeah, that's all I need is the person's name at this point. Like I said, if we have trouble finding that person after they get their, figure out what prize they get, then might need your help at that time tracking them down since they left their comments on your video. But until that time, I mean, I think we're probably pretty good.
Okay. So was I the last one?
No, Sheldon's the only one I'm waiting on.
Oh, okay.
So you were not last.
He's doing Hawaiian time.
Well, I don't care what time zone he's on. He better get it to me before we do the show tomorrow. That's all I know.
He might be on tonight.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to pull up his comment video and pick a comment myself and pick a finalist or something.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
And I guess it would have been better to show you a screenshot of their channel instead of just their comment.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, like I said, I don't need to see any of it. I mean, I trust everybody involved here. Just give me someone's name, and it's up to you guys if you guys want to show just the screenshot of how you did it, or if you want to show a whole video of how you picked it. Or I think most people are going to do like a quick video and showing how they picked it. But
yeah, I was trying to figure out how to do the video and do the random pick by doing a video on it by the computer itself. But
yeah,
I thought it was just easy to just use my phone.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but I mean, and some channels might not post anything. I don't know. So, I mean, I know like what's her name, J.M. Engelhard, my friend that did hers, and already revealed the finalist name, of course. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, she just did it. She just posted a video showing her picking a finalist, but she just, I don't even know how she did it. She just kind of like showed her video, scrolled down, and said, "Yep, here's the winner," and just kind of pointed to the comments. And people are wondering, like, some of the comments are like, "Well, how did you pick that person?" And I don't know. That's
Wait, what? She already posted a video? Did she did it on Instagram or
no,
YouTube?
She did it here on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
there's a lot of gaming software that works with YouTube that allows you to show your screen and stuff for gaming.
Yeah.
Might have been something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I've known. So I know J.M. Engelhard is from California. So is that why you guys know each other?
Yeah, she's part of a couple little local coin clubs, so I see her at a lot of coin shows and things like that. So,
yeah, I know she won like some gold, it's like a gold eagle proof from one of the coin club raffles or drawings.
Last year she won a $20 St. Gaudens gold piece at one of our coin shows, and she did a video on it.
Wow.
What? Oh, she actually won at St. Gaudens. Wow.
Yeah, MS65 St. Gaudens. Yeah.
Nice.
I know she had a 1995 W Eagle proof as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and that was the problem. She did a video and she mentioned it in the video, like after she won that double eagle, she was all upset because some people in the coin show were being really rude to her because she wins prizes a lot, and people were booing at her, and she kind of like was all upset about that. So, but the thing is that she buys tons of raffle tickets because she's a total gambler, and the more tickets you buy, the more you're going to win.
The odds are in her favor.
So I made an announcement at our show this year, just saying, hey, look, don't be booing the people if they win multiple. We should be clapping harder for them because they're the ones that are supporting these darn raffles in the first place, not the person that comes in and buys $5 worth of tickets. So.
Oh, that's a really nice barber dime.
Super heavy clash too. It's just not showing up. I'll get it to show up here in a second.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
I would have gotten sooner the email sent out to you, Michael, but I have my grandson here today, and he's barely fell asleep between me picking the winner and the email.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I mean, we got plenty of time still. I mean, it's just can't. I don't know. I'm just more worried about Sheldon. I knew you were going to do it because you told me you were, so I was expecting that. So that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So there's the nose, the lips. Here's part of the neckline. You can see
Oh, I
that.
see it now.
It's actually extremely strong clash in hand.
Oh yeah.
I can see. Actually, I
Active on
can
those little
actually see
thin
the nose.
coins. Yep.
Oops, sorry.
No, I was just saying it happens a lot on little thin coins like dimes or 3 centers or just thin coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see. I can see the face now to the other side. Now, is that because the one die was coming down harder than the reverse, or what? How does this happen? The clash.
It's a damaged die. It's from,
The dies come together without a blank planchet between them, so the dies hit each other, and then part of the design gets left on each die.
Oh, I see.
And because they're real thin coins, the dies actually hit each other. If it was a real thick coin, it might be set up to where the dies can't even strike against each other because there's enough space between them. But.
Well, I get it now. I can actually see the face.
Right, so that's the obverse die hitting into the reverse die and leaving an impression of the outline of the face. So it's kind of like upside down and reversed because it's
Right.
the opposite die.
Michael, have you ever known a coin of any denomination where how when you flip the coin it stays upright? Has there ever been a coin where both sides are facing the same direction?
I mean, the U.S. doesn't do that intentionally, but you can find rotated die airs.
Okay.
Where it would be a 180-degree die rotation to where it would be more of a metal alignment than a coin alignment is what they call it.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Melody Swag. I haven't had a chance to say hi to you yet.
Oh, yeah, what up? What time is it in your area?
My area is what's it, midnight? Past midnight? It's almost 1.
California.
Oh, 1:30. 1:28 to be exact.
Huh?
What do you want, cat? I already fed you. Go away. Go on. I thought Cajun would be here.
Yeah, I haven't seen him on the last couple streams I've done, so I think he's getting more rest these days.
Oh, is he?
I think. I hope so.
Or Rich, you must have burned him out and put him under the table.
Yeah, something. Not hard doing it from California.
Oh, I know. Everybody's ahead 3 hours, 2 hours ahead of us. So when it's 3 o'clock there, we're still at midnight and still fresh.
Except for Sheldon.
Oh yeah, Sheldon's even 3 hours behind us.
Yep. I always get it messed up because 8 o'clock or so I'm starting to stream for some of the early guys and he's still at work or driving home. So
Right.
When they make an error like this on a coin, do they catch it right away and only a few coins get out, or is it going to be like a dozen or more until they stop and find it? Or
I would imagine the clash is extremely hard for them to catch, but I don't know what they're, how they're, checking, quality checking stuff. So
right, like each coin, they couldn't do that in those days. Did you see that one man who has a computer set up where it sorts all kinds of denomination of coins? It's like in the first one I saw was basically dumping in buckets, and they would take photos of every coin, front and back, or they'll flip it. I forget how it goes, but it sorts all the coins out.
Yeah.
with the face detection stuff, we've been capable of that for probably about the last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
I don't know which one you saw, Hector, but there's a guy, he does it with wheat scent bags mostly. He takes that's why when I did my unsearched wheat scent bag of 5,000, I was telling people, it's like, be careful who you buy from, because there's people that sort out every single one of them. This guy's got a machine where he just dumps the bags of wheat scents in them, and it sorts them, every one of them, out by date and mint mark. They has the computers read the dates and mint marks and sort them in the different buckets. And so if you need 100 of any date or mint mark, I mean, he can get it for you, because he's got the machine running 24 hours just sorting wheat scents.
Wow.
And it's all done by the scanner. And and then it's all set up to where, if it's really dirty and ugly and you can't tell what it is, it kicks it out into another bucket. But yeah, it just has. So if you buy a bag of unsearched wheat scents from him cheap, it's going to be all 40s and 50s. There'll be no estimate marks. It'll just be the most generic stuff, because his machine gets it, But he makes a lot of money after. I mean, I don't know how much he invested in doing that, but he makes a lot of money sorting them all out and getting the better stuff, and then putting together bags of only S-mint scents or only scents from the teens, 20s, and then selling those, or putting together rolls of the different dates and circulated grades and selling them to some of the bigger companies that need those to fill albums.
Midnight Silver Run says that it really depends on when they run it and when they catch it. My grandma found a whole roll of double dye Clash pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
me too. Actually, several full rolls. Well, mostly full rolls. I don't know if they were 100%.
Yeah, they absolutely, will check for quality, like when they, after, they spot check coins here and there. But on something like that, I mean, would the person catch it every time? I don't know. I mean, so depending on the person looking, so would they catch it right away? I don't know. Obviously, they didn't catch this one that got out.
Well, I've got a few students who just got jobs, and they were telling me that they're going to be cashiers. One's at a grocery store and one's at a fast food store. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to them I was reading one of the articles on pennies, and I was reading it through Numista. And they came over to turn their work in, and when they saw me reading that on the screen, they said, "Oh, I have that penny." I said, "What's that? Which one?" And they said, "The one with the things around," they called them stalks. I don't know why they said that, but the wheats. I said, "Yeah, the wheats." He said, "Yeah." I go and cash when I'm cashiering. He says he finds every once in a while, like every other day, he finds a penny or a dime that's silver. He doesn't take them because they don't allow the cashiers to go through their chain.
That's all right.
Yeah. Well, the grocery store.
Interesting.
Today, a girl came to the door from my son's old school, and she said, "We're fundraising for our school, and it's $1 a lap." And says, "Well, how many laps can you do?" She goes, 2. Okay, so I give her $1 each. So I came back here and I gave her some Ike dollars. Man, her eyes got big, and she says, "What are those?" And I said, "Read the back." And she said, $1 this big? And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, I'll tell you what, take these at home, and then when you get home, tell your parents to give you 2 cash bills, $1 bills, and keep those." And all of a sudden, man, she goes, "Yeah, thanks, stranger," or something she said. I can forget what she said. She was happy. I could not believe like $2 that she's never seen before. She's never seen it. And she goes, and she thought it wasn't real. And I said, "No, read the back." It says it's $1 each. And she just went off happy because she'd never seen one before.
Right. No, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Is that a bird in the background?
Yeah, it is.
Rich, do you live on a lagoon or near a waterway or river?
I'm in the country area.
Yeah. Oh, you should have seen. Oh, did I tell you guys that after I went out to the ranch to fix the front gate? I had to go back at midnight, and one of the cows that did get out, but was eating all the grape leaves across the street from my dad's ranch, was eating it, and it got stuck. So we had to get some horses to pull her out. Little bit.
Too bad.
Well, she was fine. It was muddy, and she got one of her front legs deep and chest deep, and we just had to just pry her out a little bit. I mean, a 1,500-pound cow, it's kind of hard to do it yourself, so the horses helped.
Sure.
Are those the tokens still you're using, Rich, tomorrow? I mean, Michael?
Yeah. I got the what is it? These ones here, the ones with color around them, those are the ones that we'll pick first. So if I pick this one, that's Young Coin Hunter. That means it's Young Coin Hunter's donated prize, and then I'll pick the other ones. Then that'll be one of the winners, and on the other side will be the name of the person. So I got two different bags of so it'll be 25 of them with finalist names like this. Then on the other side will be a finalist. Sheldon hasn't given me one, so this one's blank. But I can show you like J.M. Engelhardt's, for example, because she already revealed that Sherry Ward is the finalist. So, for example, if I pick Young Coin Hunters, then I'll pick this. Then that means this person gets that prize, and then so that's kind of how that works.
Good.
Since there's 25 finalists and only 24 prizes in there, then we're going to leave one finalist left at the end, and that person gets the SVDB.
I could probably tell you what kind of bird that is. It sounds like a teal deer.
Yeah, I know some of my birds, but not by sound.
Well, the only reason is because I would go out and water the pasture when my dad wasn't able to anymore. I'd go out there at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and he was freezing with the water being around. It got cold, and those birds were always around. I'm a country bumpkin sometimes.
It'll make you sick, Andrew. He asked about my 55 bankrolls, how much they cost me. Face value.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, got them in the 60s.
I'm sure you've checked them all for double dies by now, though.
No, I have.
Oh, you got some sealed ones. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got about 6 or 8 rolls left that I save for like my birthday or Christmas and that kind of thing.
That's fun.
That's cool.
Makes it thrilling. I actually start shaking.
Actually, I told my wife this year for Christmas
That's cool. Yeah.
to buy me like mint sets and stuff like that. Just rolls of maybe some 1940s and 1950s. I still got to finish with that, and then I'm gonna start after that the 30s and get all the way get all my pennies out of the way. The nickels, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty well set.
Give her my phone number.
I already did.
Good deal.
Well, Christmas is coming up, and I gave my grandson a couple of silver, not silver, regular Ikes, and he gave me a presidential dollar. So he's looking for me, and I trade him, but I give him back the things that he thinks he gives me that I keep. I give it back to him.
That's great.
Yeah, he's getting into it.
Now I've got some coins coming your way, Hector, for him. And
did I ever give you my address?
I think I have it. If not, I'll be asking for it.
Okay, because I don't have a PO box, and I'm contemplating and finding one pretty soon because I'd like to step it up after this. I'm gonna,
You should.
Yeah. Well, to you, I trust, and to Richard, I'll trust. Michael, and people that I've talked to for a while that you have a feeling for people that you would not be concerned with. But yeah, it's very rare. But there's my post office is so far away, and they have right now they're all filled. I mean, there are none. And they've closed down a couple of our annexes. And so I'm going to go to like a UPS or something like that.
So Hector, that person that you sent me the name of, do you know them at all, or just some random comment that you got?
No, I've talked to him only twice, and
Okay.
only by text on the channel. But he has quite a few videos, and he's got 538 subscribers.
Oh wow, that's very cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just didn't know if it was somebody that was like just maybe just signed up only for this, but it sounds like
No,
an active person. That's
I
good.
just got lucky because I used to see him before, but I really didn't talk to him much because he's somewhere in the East. But what caught my attention was that he was a World War II aficionado. You know, just
Oh wow.
so we talked
I'm
about.
sure that he's going to be a fan of yours for life now that he's taking a prize.
Well, you know, whatever it takes. I mean, I like the idea. Even Rich said the same thing. You know, you put it out there, and what comes back in karma will double. You know, because I got kids asking me all the time the questions: Is this valuable? And
Yeah.
I go read up on it. You know, go even Google it. You know, go to just read. You know, because I can't get my kids to read. So anything to get them just to read any small article, even 10 minutes of reading, it's going to help them a lot. Most of my seniors are 3 years behind in their reading level, I should say.
Wow.
Yeah. And I tell them, I tell them the truth. I don't like reading, but I like reading things that I enjoy, you know, and I tell them you should find things that you enjoy reading. And
Well,
I
yeah,
said,
that's the thing. I mean, if anything, that'll make it more likely or that you're going to be able to do it if it's something you're interested in versus something that you're forced to read. Yeah.
one boy came back telling me the different compositions, and he said there were 7 different compositions or transitions. I forget how he said it, but it wasn't correct. But I didn't want to burst his bubble. He said there was 7 different varieties of pennies when they changed from the alloys and the stamps and the reverses, you know, because of the dies. And I didn't think and this guy is I shouldn't say it's stereotypical of me saying this, but
Yeah.
take it for what it's worth. I mean, he's a kid that looks like a bad boy, and he's kind of on the tough side. It's the first time I ever heard him talk because he's really quiet. And he showed me a $2 bill, and he thought it was, valuable, and it was, a modern $2 bill. But he asked me, what's this about, and all this and that. I said, there are silver certificates that you can find, and you can find $5 bills that are silver certificates. And he goes, really? He goes, yeah. He goes back, he sits down, and he keeps looking at his $2 bill. I didn't have the heart to tell him to get to work, because he wasn't doing his assignment. But man, he just took it on. It's just like another world to him because he never heard anybody talk about money in the classroom.
Wow.
So,
well, for them to find out about these West Point quarters, to find a coin in today's change that can make you that kind of money, it's pretty crazy, that just, and it is kind of rare to have a brand new coin be that kind of value. So it's pretty neat for all of us, but really cool for those kids.
Does a mint accept suggestions about not so much of the kind of coin, but like, returning with, I don't know, the Liberties and the old Barbers and put a new date on them, or would that be something they won't do?
I think Ken Peavy had said that they stopped accepting his advice, but
I wonder why. Andrew says, anyone I teach about the W quarters, he loves it.
yeah. Anytime I'm getting change from any store, I tell them.
Oh yeah.
I've heard people. Some of the channels said that they just go deliberately to pick up $2 bills, as many as he can, or Ike dollars, and they go around town, spending them like it was regular grocery money to use, instead of using an ATM. And then the people's reaction sometimes is so different that it's almost like a wake up.
I had a guy one time pay me $2,000 in $2 bills. It was like, the 10 packs of them, like a big, all sealed together, all consecutive numbers, and I mean, I didn't deposit any of them. I eventually spent all of them. It took me a long time just spending them here and there, and but yeah, it was fun. A lot of people really happy to see them, and like you said, most people think they're rare or something special,
Right,
but
right. But they're modern. They're just,
but and then people really like them. Like, hey, you want some more? And then I'll sell them whatever I got left in my pocket at the time, and I tell them to go have fun spending them, and it's just something fun. But
yeah.
but yeah, people, and it's fun to educate people a little bit on them, and some people get excited. Some people don't. Some people think it's a burden because there's nowhere in the cash drawer for them, and
Yeah. Oh no, believe me. When I ran my cashiers at my grocery store and at Target, I would tell them, "Hey, put them underneath the till, and when you get to a certain amount, band them up." I tell them what amounts to do,
mhm.
and that was not a problem. It's just that they wanted the convenience of the trays to be there.
But the other thing is, I mean, there's been stories, and I've read like in some of the old coin magazines and books about $2 bills, and there's been companies or whatever that at different times they've paid their employees their entire paychecks in $2 bills, and then told them to go around town spending all those twos just to show the locals how important their business is to the local economy. A lot of them been done by like big companies or union companies, like if they're getting threatened to have their business shut down, or if people thinking, hey, like, should we close this plant down or something? They pay all their employees in all $2 bills. So every grocery store, every gas station, everywhere in town just will know how important all those employees are to the economy.
Yeah.
Way to do it. I've heard people have done that in the past.
My grandfather used to tell me, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
My grandfather told my dad a story that when he first started working in the railroads up in Siskiyou County, they would pay him all in cash. Nothing. I mean, they would have a payroll of, let's say, I don't know, $1,000 worth of coins, and they wouldn't pay him in paper dollars because their kind of work, they just they wouldn't take it. They would take only silver and coins. Boy, to be around that time and get that money all in change
Right.
and silver, would that be crazy or what?
Yeah, just like Roadrunner says, we spend Kennedy halves all around town, people get the same reaction, or if you have the icons, or yeah. But no, like you said, it'd be cool. I mean, yeah, just to get all that, like, but I mean, that's what happened a lot of times back in the Depression, and that's why there was laws put up against that. Like when some of the big companies, they'd pay their employees just in credit or like in tokens that can only be used at like the company stores and stuff to buy their own groceries or to pay their rent at the company owned housing, and basically turn these people into slaves because they pay just enough to cover their living expenses, and they'd always be completely broke and have to keep working for the company, so effectively they were slaves to the company or owned by them. So they put rules against stuff like that, but it's just another way people have done it in the past.
Yeah, I was watching a video where this guy's called something Treasures, and he bought this house with all the furniture inside, and the house was built around 1900, and there was a hole in the wall below the staircase. And when they started renovating the staircase, they found a stash of money inside of the wall because that's where they threw the money in to hide it, I guess.
Yeah.
In the walls.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of people didn't trust banks at all, especially people that went through the Depression and saw how many banks failed and how many people lost everything. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's even people today, I mean, a lot less of them now, just as people have gotten older and passed away, but there's still a lot of people, older folks, that still don't trust banks, or you can see that are real conservative in how they spend their money, and they're just, they know how quick money can disappear and how hard it can be to earn that dollar sometimes. So.
Right.
Yeah, the most famous example was LeVar Redfield, where all the Redfield dollars came from.
Sure.
And there's also Ted Binion, the casino magnate. I have one of his dollars from his vault, and there's also Walter Samasco, who didn't have any money in his bank account. Like, he just had a bunch of gold coins in his basement from various foreign countries, like Mexican 50 pesos and British sovereigns.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and he didn't have because he doesn't have internet or anything. When he died, like they couldn't find his next of kin. So
Yeah, that was
so
pretty
eventually,
recent, wasn't it?
yeah, eventually it went to his like distant cousin who was a school teacher in California.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading about that in one of the coin magazines.
Yeah, and I think the dealer that's in charge of selling his gold is Northern Nevada Coin,
Yeah.
and
And I
I
remember
shop from
reading
that
something like
company.
how everybody thought the guy was pretty much broke or didn't really have much money because I guess he just literally put it all into the walls of his house and hid it away, I guess, in gold.
I thought I might be a hermit someday, just like them.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard antique stores finding cash in envelopes behind secret doors or secret drawers that they put in the back of drawers themselves, and they all find maybe $100 in store certificates or something like that.
Wow.
I've done a lot of antiques that people have brought in the original piece and found hidden stuff in them quite a bit. And I put those same features back into the new pieces.
I like that one, Rich. That's nice.
Yeah, some of those antique desks and dressers and things, especially, they have so many little hidden compartments and things. It's just amazing, like the craftsmanship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I
a,
thought the red book says that just because you find a coin in a secret compartment, that doesn't mean it's going to be some rare coin.
Right.
It just might be a curiosity.
a good example is the roll top desks. A lot of them have little tiny drawers. If you pull those drawers out, you'll find little stash spots that were purposely made.
Yeah, I have a roll top desk. It's not an antique one, it's a modern one. But on the side below each of the small cubbies, you can't tell it's a drawer, and all you do is you tap it and it pushes it out, and it looks like part of the woodwork. So that's like a compartment too.
You got to hide some $2 bills in there. Maybe somebody will find them someday.
Yeah, I did think about doing that, but I rarely carry cash anymore.
Yeah.
Mainly because in where I used to work in Fresno, it was not a healthy environment. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, about
I mean,
20% of the bedroom furniture I did all had real special stash spots that wouldn't be found.
I hope we don't go to a cashless society. Like everybody's using Apple Pay right now, and when like I just don't think people should just store all their money in technology and use that to pay. Like if there's like a natural disaster or something, or somebody hacks into the computers,
Yeah.
you're screwed if you don't have any cash.
Well,
Or
more
coin.
towards cashless, but I don't think it's ever going to get totally cashless, at least not in the foreseeable future, because there's still enough people that like carrying around cash. Especially, I live in Southern California, and I'm always, I know it's not safe, I guess, or whatever, but I always got a good amount of cash on me because, if the earthquakes hit or if something hits or where I got to move, you don't have time to go to the bank, and you might need that cash, so you got to have some on you. At least that's the way I was always raised. And there's also enough businesses out there that don't want to, have trackable transactions. There's always going to be a cash economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't India try to do cashless society?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Didn't India try to do a cashless society?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, India. That's the only place I've heard of that did it, and it was pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
I can tell you today was what we call it food frenzy. This is where the high school brings in all like Panda Express, Taco Bell, Java Juice, all those stuff that you can get on the campus.
Yeah.
And you can buy pizza, buy either the whole pizza or you can buy the piece. But food frenzy, you used to see the money that we had to count today of all the booths. It was unbelievable. Kids were pulling out 20s only.
Yeah.
I'm going, and I'm thinking, okay, these kids are cash and carry because they can't use a credit card, they can't use an ATM, and I'm saying, then one kid pulls out his money, he looks around like he dropped something. I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I thought I dropped money." I said, "Well, how much do you have?" He said, $85. $85? I don't even carry $25. This kid's got 85 and he's spending like crazy.
Yeah.
To buy food.
Wait. You didn't spend it all in one place, right?
I don't know about that, but he a lot of kids share their money. I mean, I could see. I'll buy you a piece, and I can hear them because I was help selling nachos with the art department.
They were probably using cash, so their parents don't know all the junk food they were buying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At my high school, all we like at the food booth in my high school, we just have Pizza Hut and Chick-fil-A, and but you guys have Panda Express at your food booth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have.
it's just Oh yeah, it's just Chick-fil-A and Pizza Hut.
I've never tried Chick-fil-A to tell you the truth.
Chick-fil-A is good, but their stuff is expensive though.
Well, anything nowadays, if you don't buy a $11 sandwich from Subway or we have Deli Delicious. I mean, that's the best one right now. But we have Five Mikes. We have Young Johnny's or Quick Johnny's or something like that. We have a bunch of them that's coming from the Midwest.
I wish my state has an In-N-Out. Like we don't have an In-N-Out in Oklahoma. I wish we do have one.
They got to be getting close.
Every time
I know they have them in Texas.
Oh yeah, Texas has them. Yeah, every time I go out of state, like most of the time when I go out of state, I try to eat at an In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Like when I visited San Francisco, when I went to Pier 39 in San Francisco, I just go to the In-N-Out near the beach.
Yeah. Well, I know they're not everywhere because they're all, it's still a family-owned business, so they're all owned by like basically one girl. She inherited it from her grandparents, and
In-N-Out,
they're that
do fresh food. They don't freeze their stuff, so they can't put a new store unless it's within so many miles of one of their big factories where they have the meat. So I mean, that's why they're not everywhere. But I know they're slowly making their way across the country, and they're out to Texas at least. So.
Hey, Mike, this is my voice.
Do what?
No, Mike Badger was telling me, "Hey, Hector, I did not know your voice." And something probably. No, but we had a chain that used to start in Bakersfield and go all the way to Sacramento. It was called Mammoth Orange. You know how they say everything is in Texas is bigger? Well, these guys bragged about their Alaska-sized burgers. It was a half-pound cooked hamburger patty.
I would love that.
And you can have a double.
Oh wait, half cooked? No. If it's half cooked, I wouldn't want that at all.
It was fully cooked, and it weighed a half a pound.
Okay, I thought you said half a pound, not half cooked. Okay, yeah, if it was half a pound, yeah, I would love to eat that.
Well, they had the double, they had the triple. You could not eat the triple. It was just way too big. But everything.
Oh, of course, yeah, triples. They always cut it up.
Hector, what in the Sacramento area? Do you know what is it? The squeeze in. It does the squeeze with cheese.
Yeah.
I had one of those when I was up there. If you like cheeseburgers, those are kind of fun.
I'm not crazy about cheese. At my age, cheese doesn't do me well.
Yeah. No, it's just funny to see that burger with like a big square of cheese that's like 3 times the size of the burger.
Yeah. If it was edible and the right size, like a regular American slice, that's fine. But anything more than that,
Yeah,
no.
I think when they make them, they put like basically like half a pound of shredded cheese on each burger.
Oh,
it's crazy.
And
can you add bacon to those burgers?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that giant burger, and with my usual toppings of bacon, mayonnaise, and onions, in addition to the 3 patties, you can get like a heart attack from that.
Well, that's why you got to go in Vegas. You got to go to the Heart Attack Grill.
Oh yeah, the guy that their most frequent patron died of a heart attack.
I remember reading something about that. Yeah, because it's funny when you go there because they have a big scale out front and it says like I think if you're like over like 300 pounds or over 350 pounds, they like give you a free burger or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's basically Heart Attack Grill is basically a Hooters for obese people. Like,
Oh yeah,
do you see how the waitress dress? They kind of
right.
dress pretty promiscuously. So yes, Hooters for obese people.
Yeah, I've never been there, but I've seen it, and I've seen it like just because I've been to Vegas a few times there, and it's just they just make everything as unhealthy as possible. Like they cook their fries in lard still, and they just make everything
Oh
like
my!
so crazy. Yeah.
Animal fat is animal fat was how McDonald's used to cook their fries during the 80s. But you know, do they have fried ice cream at the Heart Attack
Oh, I have
Grill?
no idea.
Because I mean, because at my local state fair, there's such thing as fried ice cream. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, you can fry ice cream somehow. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I've been to Vegas quite a few times. I don't know why I've never seen the Heart Attack Grill. Like I've seen it on
Yeah.
TV. Like I've heard of it on
Well,
TV,
it's
but I never.
downtown, like under in the old part of Vegas. So if you don't go down there, then you wouldn't see it.
So the Strip. Where's the Strip?
Well, it's in
Is
the
that
old strip, old downtown Vegas is where it's at.
Yeah. You know, I visited the gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas. You know, that's
Right.
where they film the Pawn Stars.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling Morgan dollars and piece dollars that have holes for like $40. I
Oh
mean, I
yeah, the
guess that's
store's
just
a
because they're Pawn
total
Stars.
tourist crap ripoff. And if you try to sell stuff to them, they don't even give you anywhere close to what the stuff is worth. I mean,
Well,
I mean, they are a tourist store first and foremost. They're not really a real coin shop or they're not even a real pawn shop, to be honest.
well, I mean, they'll still. I mean, like I took them a $20 Liberty Gold Eagle or Gold Double Eagle, and just to see what they would give me. It was like a nice AU piece, and I think they offered me like 60% of the melt value or something like that. So it was like
Wow.
$100 under what it would be worth melted. And,
well, let me
I
give
mean, you know,
thanks.
let me give you the opposite. I went to it's called Oceanside. No, Oceano. And there was a store there. They were selling in a. You know how they have grocery stores and they have a bank and they have like a little kiosk for their phones selling and another one for. I guess they were selling jewelry, but they were selling Kennedy half dollars, 66, 65, in that range, the 40%ers,
Yeah.
$25 each. I
wait,
said,
there's some half dollars? That's weird.
yeah, and I asked the lady, he says, why are you selling them so much? She goes, oh, we just make sure our people don't buy it. We use it for decoration. I says, no, come on, is it $45 for a half dollar?
Right.
And it wasn't even in any kind of grade. It was just like regular,
Yeah, that's just craziness.
And they turn them into keychains or something. Like, what do you do with them, or they're just raw?
They were just, if you found the 50-cent silver piece, 40%er, and you found it in your change, that's what it looked like. It wasn't anything special, not any kind of.
Probably dirty too.
Yeah, it's a shame because a lot of those people will buy those and then they'll find out eventually they're only worth like $3.
Even the Rosies, Roosevelts, they were selling them for $5 to $10 each.
Yeah.
I said that's not no.
I'm surprised they're selling the Rosies because I mean, I could see people paying $40 for a Kennedy because most people have never seen a half
Yeah,
dollar
or a Mercury
before.
dime instead of a Roosevelt because people haven't seen them. But yeah, Roosevelt.
Yeah, people have never seen a Mercury dime, so I can see people paying money for that. But a Rosie, like people won't, they can't convince anybody to pay $40 for a Rosie because people see those all the time.
Yeah, but that's what I
Well,
was.
she got nervous after I told her that's way overpriced. It's
Are they even silver Rosies? They're silver, right?
yeah, they were, and Mercury's too.
Well, most people don't even know. Like a lot of people don't even know pre-65 is silver. Like they just spend them at face value.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say it, but when I was doing my furniture, certain people that drove in with certain cars, if I didn't double my price, I didn't get the job.
Really?
Yeah. They just, if you're not charging the most, you're not the best. and that's the only thing they see. So, and that was in the 70s and 80s, and yeah, I sold tons of stuff like that.
What was your favorite wood to work with, Rich?
Honduras mahogany was really fun because you can get such a deep, dark color to it. The real dark reds and even the dark chocolate browns with that just are gorgeous. And it's like a lot of the antique furniture. But California does what they call tiger oak, and it's actually quarter sawn wood, and that's just beautiful. It's what all the old antiques were made out of through this area.
So you're a woodworker?
Yep, owned a shop for a lot of years.
So is it true that, there's less demand for like the 18th century, 19th century or those antique furniture nowadays? Like people don't demand those anymore, like the younger people?
I think back east they still see a lot of it, but there's the houses here are so modern they try to keep their themes throughout the house.
Yeah, why would I go buy some antique furniture when I can go to IKEA and get whatever I want for like $80?
So
No.
yeah, I mean, antique furniture is different from coins.
Yeah, no, I did like some real special kitchens that were real exotic woods, and I ran the grain side to side horizontally instead of vertical, and pattern matched everything throughout. And it's really hard to do that. And sold one of them for over close to $90,000, and that's not finished and that's not installed. So yeah, there's a big demand. Of course, it was a gigantic kitchen, but yeah, just depends on where you're at.
Hey, Rich, there's a guy by the name of Samurai Carpenter. You ever heard of him?
Nope.
He's on YouTube. He does all the tenon joints and everything, the whole thing of putting joints together and dovetails by using Japanese techniques and no nails, no glues. Everything is from the wedging.
What?
I'm sorry?
Wait, what? No glue?
No glue.
That's wild.
Japanese style furniture put together by using tenon joints and special cuts, and you had to see it. This guy's amazing.
Yeah, I did that from time to time, but most of the hardware I use, like you normally use like that stuff on the drawers, and some of the hardware they have, the whole side of the drawer is the glide. So you wouldn't have to use those joints. You only had to put in a floor. And then of course the drawer front.
Right.
Wild.
Yeah. Hayfula, Graph. There's a few companies that just make extreme stuff for the German engineered hardware.
So do you think quality furniture doesn't have to be very expensive, or is it overpriced? Or because when I worked retail and I used to sell jewelry, when we used to say, "Oh, we have 50% off sale," we were still making 50% profit on them.
Yeah.
So when you tell me about like when you were dealing in jewelry.
Yes. Like the markup?
Oh, I mean, like what type of business is this?
This was a jewelry store it was an independent in one of the stores in Target in Fresno.
Target.
Yeah.
Oh, Target. Huh.
I would see the invoices of what our cost was and what our markup was and what we sold it at retail. So when you see 75% off, they're still making money on 75% off. Jewelry has a 300% markup.
Oh yeah, I mean, way over their metal value. I mean,
Well, I'm talking about diamonds and rubies and sapphires.
Target has rubies.
Yep, and our targets, we called. You see, there's targets and there's targetos. Targetos is medium income and below, and targets are called targets, but they're like in Beverly Hills and places like Bentonhurst, places where they have bigger, populations. They do have higher end. It's just like gas. When I used to run 7-Eleven stores, I had 7 of them, and all over Fresno, and depending on where they were situated in the city, the price of gas was to the median income of that area. So gas, let's say North Fresno was the higher income, gas was higher there because they could afford to pay for it. To sell the same amount of gas on my south stores in Fresno, I'd lower the price. I'd sell more gallons but I would make money per, like cents per gallon. In Fresno North, I probably sell 20 cents to 15 cents a gallon more in profit.
Yeah, but still, I mean, gas overall in California would be more expensive than other states, especially my state.
The only reason why it's expensive is because the cost of gas is still the same. It's the taxes they put on California that makes it expensive.
Well,
the tax, exactly.
Our state laws
refineries that used to ship to my store, and some came as far as Louisiana and Texas, some from Long Beach, and some from what's the other one from? Stockton area.
Yeah, or Benicia Martinez area has huge refineries. All here in California, yet we were paying more.
Standard. We can't get gas from the streets. We got our own blend right now, so I mean that's because of the state rules.
Well, right now, I think the EPA just put a sanction on California of EPA for gas mileage and CO2 emissions.
Yeah, they're trying to change that. Yeah.
Yeah, but the four big auto companies in the United States said no, we'll go along with California, what their standards are.
Right. But if you just look at the pumps right now in California, just the tax, you're paying over $1 a gallon just in state tax.
In California, because we do buy most of the cars that we do in the United States.
Oh, sure. But because right now it's cheaper to buy gas in Hawaii than it is California. It used to never be that way.
Michael, what's gas price in your area?
I just filled my car for $4.19 a gallon.
Oh, wow! And here in Fresno,
it's like one of the most expensive areas. Well, I mean, I got to put premium in my car too, but so yeah, regular is probably like $3.89.
We're paying.
My area is $2.50.
Ours
is Missouri, Oklahoma, that kind of area is like the cheapest in the nation, just about.
Yeah. Also, the properties, those are really cheap in Oklahoma. Like the property tax, like there's hardly any. It's really cheap, even cheaper than Texas.
Anywhere in the mid-century, like my son was living in Missouri, our house, the way it sits now, over in Missouri, would be only like $90,000, $120,000. Yep. The same house in San Francisco, you're looking at $1.5, $2 million.
Oh, I know. San Francisco, just to live in an average apartment in San Francisco could buy you a house in Oklahoma. I mean, San Francisco, you can't live there unless you inherit something or something like.
Yeah.
Other than that, or you're a hobo.
My uncle lives right on Richmond and Palo Alto that divides the city. Half his house is in Palo Alto, another half is in Richmond. And his house is probably, without the garage, probably 980 square feet. And it's going for $1.1 million.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, also if you don't Silicon Valley people, how they earn a lot of money, but because of taxes and various expenses, they're not really that rich.
No, they're still pretty wealthy.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
don't let them fool you.
They may cry poor, but they're not.
Yeah, and
because
the real estate,
the living expenses are high, but they're still socking away, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars into their savings and retirement. So they're doing okay.
And it's expensive in San Francisco also because they don't expand the city. Like they all have those old houses and also rent control and other stuff, right?
Oh, sure.
Well, housing is pretty expensive. I mean, even when I bought my house 30 years ago, and I just finished paying it off 2 weeks ago. I mean, the prices that when I bought my house I thought it was pretty expensive. And then all of a sudden, my house is 3 times to 3.5 times more in value than when I bought it.
Right.
I'm like, geez. And then my daughter buys a house in it's not a big house, but she's almost paid what I paid.
So, Michael Kittle, you know of Witter Coins in San Francisco?
Who is it? I'm sorry.
Witter Coins. I think they're like the most famous coin dealer in San Francisco. Witter Coins,
Yeah, I'm not familiar
Witter.
with the Northern California stuff as much. I don't know.
Oh yeah. So I mean, they're the best. They're the biggest. Well, yeah, they're the biggest coin store in Northern California, I think.
Okay.
And they have these gold proof sets. You know, half eagle, quarter eagle, double eagle, eagle proof set.
Mhm.
And seated Liberty proof. So yeah, that's some pretty high end stuff. I always visit that shop. Whenever I stop by San Francisco, though,
Yeah.
it's pretty expensive buying from them. On top of that, on top of being how expensive they price their coins, also you have to pay tax just to buy coins over there
Oh
in
yeah.
California. And
Are
I don't know.
Unless you're spending more than $1,500. Yep. You got to pay
Lucky
something.
Strike, are you talking about Witter's
Well,
coin?
I mean, even buying bullion, like even buying just junk silver, you have to pay a tax.
Unless you're buying more than $1,500. Yeah.
$10, yeah.
They have me pay taxing on low value items.
Yep. That's the state law.
Yeah. Unless so if it's over 1,500, you don't have to pay a tax, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know there's a
Okay.
few dealers, they kind of get around that too. Like, so for example, if you wanted to buy $500 of stuff from me, I would sell you like $500 worth of junk silver. And then I'd also sell you 10 $100 bills, that are like maybe have a fancy serial number, maybe they don't, I don't know. So then you would give me $1,500, but you'd be getting $1,000 in change basically too. So,
Yeah, and
some dealers play that game.
I mean, the guy, like, I want. There's this like Indochina Piastri that I saw that's really nice, and they're like charging for like 1,000 something for it because apparently it's a key date or something. I didn't know world coins can be that expensive.
Oh,
But
sure.
but like I mean, even the ancient coins, like they're not even legible when they're you know
Yeah.
$10 for a ancient coin that you can't even tell where it's from. Um, but yeah, I mean, the guy who was working the desk every time I go there, I mean, yeah, he's pretty rude.
Are you talking about Witter coins? WI.
Yeah, waiter. Yeah,
One on Market Street.
yeah, Market Street. Yeah, I always take a bus to Market Street.
Okay.
They like they had their office in the Hobart building, but from what somebody told me, they're actually moving to a different office now.
I've heard of the Hobart, but I've been by it, but I've never stopped to see it.
Yeah.
Well, San Francisco's my favorite.
I always have to check in the building, like they always have a security guard in the Hobart building. I have to sign my name and tell them I'm going to the coin store. Then I take the elevator and I go inside the shop.
Oh, that's just building security.
Yeah, it's building security. But I mean, I'm just saying, like the guy who actually works at the coin shop, he's kind of rude. He's actually a young guy.
His attitude. He's got to be a rent-a-cop.
Yeah. I mean, I never see the actual owner of the shop. Like the owner of the shop, you see him on YouTube and I see him in a Coin World video, but you never actually see the owner like actually at the shop. Probably, I don't know. I guess the owner probably travels to buy coins or something. That's why he's never there.
Hmm.
I don't know.
A full step.
I just see that young man over there only.
It's a key.
All right, guys, I'm going to sign off here. It's getting kind of late, and I got to get up and
You got a big day tomorrow.
I got to give away a 1909 SVDB Lincoln sent tomorrow sometime. So.
Hey, so is it 4:00 our time that we're gonna?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do this. I might start it a little bit earlier than that, but
Okay.
probably right around 4:00 Pacific, 7:00 Eastern is the plan.
I'll be I'll be around 4 o'clock. I'll be, in the chat or when you start it,
Yeah.
and I'll be coming in and out because I'm taking my grandson to the Harvest Festival tomorrow. But I will have my phone on and watch it there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure. Like I said, I mean, it'd be nice to have at least the channels involved if you can be there at least part of it, because I'm sure.
Well, they better
people
be.
watching will like to see you there too. So.
If we see Sheldon, we'll remind him.
Yeah, definitely. I just sent him an email saying, "Hey, look, everybody else but you's got their name in, so don't be the one guy that messes it up."
Oh no.
So
anyway, I think we should start thinking about a bigger one, a better. I don't know if that's any better than the 1909, but
Or
something.
you're gonna give away. I mean, you're gonna give away like a barber proof or some type coin or something.
well, I mean, even like if we did something like that, like I could find like a coin that's more valuable, but I just don't think it would get as much interest because I mean,
Yeah.
not as many people would be into that as you would. I mean, the 1909 SVDB is the big key date. Everyone's heard
Right.
of that. So
And
I think there's as much interest.
I know a 1916 D Mercury dime.
Possibly.
Okay.
Or you'd have to pick something like just like a nice $20 St. Gaudens in high grade, like an MS-65. I'm sure people would get excited about that.
I mean, even an MS-64, they're pretty expensive in MS-64 and up.
Well, just the price of gold alone makes them like a $1,500 to $1,700 coin. Yeah.
But Michael,
that would get people excited to have something like that.
But Michael, you see the reaction people say with 1909 SVDB when you say that, all of a sudden you have this big reaction. I think it's not so much the quality of the high grade of it, of an item. I think it's the key date.
That's why we picked that one. Yeah, of course.
I mean, you did that. I mean, that was
I mean, something else. I mean, another one you could do is like if we had a 55 double die, that would probably have a good reaction.
Or a 69 double.
Well, I mean, that usually get a lot of people involved in that because that's like a $20,000 coin or more.
Oh, what's a $20,000 coin?
I was
69 double die.
kidding about that one.
Yeah,
but that would be something to mill around.
I don't know, Hector. It's like, believe me, it was hard enough trying to get 25 channels involved in the.
I know.
So I don't know. I don't know if we could do it again. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, even if we just continue with our conversations and just continue with our people that we hang around with and get them to grow, I think that'd be fun. This is fun.
I'm sure. I mean, and like I said, I'm not the only one that's ever put a multi-channel thing together, and I'm certainly not going to be the last. So
no,
I'm sure next time somebody gets close to one of their big milestones, they might try to do something too. And if they invite me, I'd be a part of it too. So it's fun.
If you guys have like any smaller giveaways, would a good prize for a smaller scale giveaway be like a 1921 peace dollar? Because you could buy them even under $100.
Oh yeah, I mean if you get one
$1921's like
$100,
the
it's gonna be
cheapest.
pretty junky, but I mean you can get a decent one for around 100. Yeah,
like a fine. Yeah, very good to find.
Yeah, something
Or
like
maybe
that
even
would be great. Or yeah, I mean, because I see a lot of people, they'll do like a 1/10 ounce gold piece if they do a big prize, and those are kind of okay, but kind of boring.
Hey, Rich, you got my birth year there.
What's that?
You got my birth year there. Uh-oh.
So are like the peace dollar key dates probably one of the least expensive of the early 20th century coins?
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
I don't know, like the classic, like before the Washington and before the Jefferson and the dead presidents era, not including the Lincoln cent, but like out of all the early 20th century coins, that key dates, would the 1921 or 1928 be like the least expensive of the early 20th century key dates?
Yeah, I mean, like anything, it would be depending on the grade.
But yeah, that's just because the 1921 and 1928 didn't really circulate that much.
Yeah. Well, the 1921s did. I mean, but then again, I mean, they circulate. I mean, you find a lot of them in circulated condition, but they didn't circulate down to nothing because people learned pretty quickly that it was going to be a 1-year type coin, so a lot of them did get saved.
Yeah, I did see a low ball pour one 1921 piece dollar. It was pretty crazy. I think somebody posted it on a forum. I forgot which, like either Instagram or Collector's Universe. And I know the 1928, didn't they keep it like in the foundation of a building, like
I
a
don't know.
portion of them?
They did that in a lot of buildings when they put a coin in the corner.
Yeah, that's weird. How did they do that?
It was just a tradition. They started a long time ago.
Yeah, a lot of people want them to like bust up the old
Archibald.
San Francisco Mint building because there's supposedly some real rare coins in the cornerstone of that building. But don't know.
There's supposed to be good luck or something to do with the value of the building stays valuable. I forget what
It's
the
like people used to put one coin underneath a ship's mast when they laid a big
Oh yeah,
mast, or when you build a new house, you nail a coin into like one of the beams of the house, and people would do that.
yeah. I read about them, putting it in the mast of a ship, like from Wikipedia. There's literally a Wikipedia article about putting silver coins in the mast of a ship,
Okay.
and also people also put silver coins. Like even when you're sailing on a voyage, they you put a silver coin in a barrel of wine or water, and it can purify it.
I don't know.
I guess because silver, has antimicrobial properties.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I mean, they're literally these silver stackers. They're like taking these colloidal silver supplements, and I mean, silver stackers are like. I didn't know they're gotten to the point of consuming silver itself rather than just stacking it stuff.
well, people consume gold too in their food.
Oh yeah, yeah. Have you like there's how we're talking about burgers earlier? Like there are burgers and ice cream shakes that are like really like expensive, and because they put like gold flakes in them. Of course, it's over the price of gold itself because it didn't take much gold to create those flakes because gold's malleable.
Oh,
But
it's so thin.
but yeah, it's just a gimmick. That's why they overprice them.
And they line up for them.
Oh yeah.
A gold plated burger. I mean, come on.
I'm sorry, I've got to try it at least once.
Yeah.
Try what once?
The gold burger.
No.
And the ice cream shake, like the ice cream shake or whatever, the ice cream that I was talking about, that had gold flakes. You can eat it with an 18-karat gold spoon.
Has anybody tried the Beyond Burger now? Have you heard that?
I would not want that. No, vegan stuff is nasty.
No.
I would never eat
Cows.
that.
I like cows. Cows taste good.
Yeah.
Yeah, cow tastes good.
Hey, I made my living on using cattle, so don't get me wrong, but I heard that it's almost close to eating meat. Not only in the texture, but in the taste also. But
Yeah.
I'm used
So
to.
do they use beets or carrots to dye the meats, to dye the fake meat to make it look like a beef patty?
Well, when you grow up on a ranch and you eat from the cow pasture to your freezer within the same hour, and you grind your meat the same day that you harvest the cow, it's kind of a little different for me to go to be a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Alone a
Yeah, nothing can ever beat real beef. Oh yeah, seafood. I watched a video like how seafood tastes depends on how you kill the animal. Like if most places that sell seafood, they just make the fish suffocate to death. But so that's why they have that fishy taste.
Uh-huh.
But the Japanese, they immediately kill the fish through putting a spike in their head or something. And because the fish didn't suffer, the meat tastes better. It didn't have the fishy taste.
Do you also know that the way we slaughter our cattle and the way we kill
Cattle
them?
bolt rifle. Yeah,
No,
you knock out the cow
no,
with a cattle bolt rifle.
no. what we do is that we cut the nerve at the base of the horns, right at the spine, so that it drops.
The horn, the base of the horn,
Back of the horn.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Because you cut off all. Well, one of the things it does is it immobilizes the cow or the herd, whatever we're going to do. It immobilizes because a lot of times when you shoot them or you cut them and to harvest them, they're still. How can I put this? It's like a chicken. When you cut the chicken's head off, it keeps the nerve endings still keep going. Well, sometimes the cattle do that. So it's safer just to do the nerves.
Yeah, because it prevents lactic acid or something from building up. But you guys still immobilize the cow with the cattle bolt gun, right?
Just on the neck, yeah, and then we put we call them the plungers. It just puts.
All right, guys, I'm going to take off now, and now I'm going to have really weird dreams because of this conversation. So I appreciate that. But
sorry.
Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I got to sign off here.
Thank you, Mike.
You guys have a good one. Don't stay up too late.
No. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
All right.
Oh yeah, see you, Michael.
Take care. Yep.
Richard, can I ask a favor?
Sure.
Can you put that 56 D back, please?
You just want to deer.
No. I wanted to see the ear. It was something. It was something like a little flat.
Or, oh yeah, it does look a little flat. So you don't put the plunger on the forehead. You do it on the neck.
It's not a plunger. It's actually a serrated knife that's got a hook stoppers, and it's a dagger, and we just plunge it in, and when the stopper
it bleeds out.
No, it doesn't. You're actually severing the spinal cord. That's all you're doing.
Oh, okay. So, but the part when you just make the animal bleed out, that comes afterwards,
right? And then traditionally in our family, this may sound terrible, but all my older uncles would drink a glass of blood straight from the cow or the bull.
I mean, isn't that what the Native Americans used to do to buffaloes?
They would eat the heart. Yeah, it's part of our Indian culture from Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, because consuming the blood and the heart makes you as strong as the animal,
and also the spirit combined. And you don't, and they become part of you, and the spirit is having a good death because we're using everything of it. No, I was just looking at the ear, Richard. It looked like even around the hair was a little bit like it's kind of blended or soft.
Yeah,
it was just the photograph, but it just looks.
I think the strike is really weak right there in that one spot.
Okay. Well, thank you. I just wanted to see, not because it's my birth year, but I just wanted to see the hairline and all that.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you can see in the neck too, right below the ear. That's weak right there.
What about under his chin? Underneath, it looks like under the jawline.
Yeah, I see that again when it's not a really good strike.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks like it's got double lips and a double chin. Maybe it's a light.
You can see all this area right here is weak.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna go hang up right now. I'm just gonna go take some time to study. So you guys have a good one.
All right.
Take it easy.
Good night.
Hey, good night. Thanks.
I remember those days studying at midnight and 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. Jeez.
Yeah. See, look how weak the end is on the one.
Yeah.
See the end below it's nice and solid.
Yeah, the very center of the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those bag marks on the T? Rich? Or is that coin on coin?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. It could be bag marks. The copper damage is very easy, so it's hard to get this to the condition. Because the fields are really, really clean and clear in these ones. See, look in the fields here. The fields are pretty much completely clear.
Uh-huh.
And get the light just right there. It has.
What between the U and the N and above the O? D6.
The U, you're talking about?
The obverse. I mean, on the reverse. So I saw a little stain there. Boy, that L is almost on that rim.
Yeah, that's just a little piece of something that's on the coin. I don't think it's.
Yeah, I've been missing Cajun a lot lately.
Yeah, I think he's just catching up on lost sleep and stuff.
Okay.
And there's a little die chip.
Yeah, I see that. Above the U and the N?
Above or below. I see the little spot below. Right there.
Oh, yeah, I see that. On the left.
So a lot of this is swirl marks by above United, the tail end of United, and in between the D and S in United States. That's just the way the metal was flowing.
The E looks kind of odd on United. Like it's got shortened or something. Or is that the pattern?
I think that, yeah, I think it's normal. I think it's just the light
Oh, okay.
turning it on.
Hey, Richard, when you were taking photography, could you control the light as in direction too, besides just like if it's pointing down?
Well, the thing you got to keep in mind is the shadow. Like when you're doing portrait photography, you got to be on both sides or you get that shadow line, which looks horrible in portraits. So, yeah. And in coins, because the depth is so shallow, you've got to set the lights up at a pretty good angle or you're not going to create enough of a little shadow line to be able to make those details show. It'll just make the coin look flat. Like, let me pull one of these away. Now, see, it looks pretty good right there on the left side of all the letters. There's a small dark line, which is making it stand out. But you put the light up on top more. Well, I can't quite. Let me do two lights. Then it takes away the shadows and you're losing some of the details.
So multi-directional lighting is more beneficial, or is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
At different angles, that one at a time.
But I always use it on one side. Sometimes I'll use two lights on one side, but smaller wattage lights. If you have a coin that's lower grades, under fine, trying to catch those little details is really important, but not making all the little scratches and dings show up is kind of hard. So it's a happy medium. You just have to find it. Again, it's eye appeal on those grades.
Now, would more pixels or higher definition cameras or even 4K, would that make a difference on the quality of the picture and picking up all the details that is looked for?
When I'm doing the lower grade coins, I bring it way down for megapixels, down to a much lower number. When I'm doing super high grade, yeah, that's when the high megapixels is really useful because you can really get it crisp.
Well, I saw some cameras at Target today. 'Cause I went to pick up some stuff for my daughter Renee, and I just happened to stop by, and the guy says, "Oh, you like our 4K television?" And I go, "Yeah, but yeah, it's really nice, but it's too small." And he says, "Oh, here, I'll show you another one." So he showed me that. As we went on the corner, I saw 4K cameras.
Yep,
You
they've
know,
been out
for
for
like $500. You know, starting.
6 or 7 years now.
Yeah. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And this is how's it take pictures in micro and all that? And he goes, well, you could buy as much as you want in camera lenses to change your focus on it. I said, geez.
Yeah, that's true and all, but some cameras specifically have macro modes, and those are the ones that you want for coins. If you're gonna do like a high dollar one where you're spending 1,500 or more on just the body of the camera, then yeah, you can do it with the lenses. They actually have a way where you can put a bellows in between, or you can do, like, I use a reversing ring for my camera, so I can turn my 100mm around and shoot through it backwards, and it helps a ton for macro.
Wow.
So, and having that space between the camera body and the lens is key too. If you got an adjustable one, you can do tons of stuff.
Well, I used to do the old-fashioned f-stops and everything, using the light meter and all that.
I still use my light meter.
Do you still?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I have an old 35mm Canon A1, which is about what, almost 45 years old, almost 40. Yeah, 40, 45 years old. My daughter took it to use it, and she's taking photography just using the old 35mm film, but she has to go to either to a Photoshop or has to order the film online.
Yeah. There's a place in San Francisco still that does all the developing of some of the older films. And you can get just about anything you need through them. There's another place too, B&H Photo and Video.com. That place is in New York. They sell all the professional equipment. They still have all the old films and stuff.
Well, we have in Fresno called Horns Photography. Oh no, Horns Camera. And they buy old cameras. They refurbish them and they resell them. And they also have all the new modern equipment, digital processing, even machines to do a 1-unit developing 35mm film inside of a box that looks like you're operating in a sandblaster. And it's pretty neat because at the other end comes out all your negatives, and from there they got their own equipment to shoot their own films. But Horns has been around for, geez, at least 60, 70 years.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Horns before, but
it's a local ownership. It's not a national. It's really local, but they've been around a long time. Wow, Rich, you still have 10 people in here. And only me and you talking.
Yeah. Well, they're still carrying on in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. Roadrunner's still talking. Mike Badger's still there.
Yeah.
Michael's tonight. Let's see, Drone Runner, Mike Badger. Oh, Midnight Silver Run's still here.
Now, I've been able to use really cheap cameras and come up with really great pictures. You know, in the beginning, the professional digital camera only had 2.5 megapixels. It did great pictures. I paid, you know, $400 or $500 for my lenses, but yeah, it did really good. And in fact, I think I paid about $1,500 for that 2.5 megapixel camera. So, but with a cheap camera, if it has a crisp focus, yeah, you play with light a little bit, filters and stuff. You can even put add-on lenses to where the filter rings are and do crazy pictures. I've seen people do just wonderful professional looking stuff with cheap cameras.
So Richard, do you use automatic focus or automatic settings, or do you?
No, I use manual.
Use manual?
Yeah, when you're using like the bellows and stuff, they don't all have the electrical contacts to keep the the autofocus running. Some of the ones I have do, but I still just use the. You got more control if you use the manual focus.
Roadrunner is saying that high-speed film is pricey, but best for pro exposures.
Yeah. Don't normally go 400. I'm normally around 200.
Well, I used to use a high-speed film for my football and my baseball guys. You know, just because it was crisper and a lot easier to use to capture, instead of having that like stutter looking kind of like fade, body motion.
Right.
It just better, catching the right moment. You can actually see the guy's eyes when he's catching the ball and it's running towards you.
Yeah, I like slow shutter speeds and stuff though. So, that's something I've always done. In fact, I've only sold a couple of my photos. I sold one for $400 or $500. It was a 13 by 19, and it was of a really old steel bridge. And it was late at night, and I did like I think it was a 3-minute or 2-minute exposure, and a few cars had gone over, and so it had the tracers of lights going all the way across the bridge, and those were out of focus, but the bridge was sharp as could be, and the moonlight, and didn't get stars in the shot. I was doing more landscape behind, but yeah, it was a great photo. And I've sold about 5 or 6 of my pictures, and they've all been right around that price. I've been really lucky.
Well, I did one shot of the night sky, but I had to travel away from the city lights and more towards the mountains. And I got to about the foothills, probably about 20 miles from here. And I did an open exposure just, to follow the track of the stars. But I got so many stars, and I didn't believe how many there were there. With my naked eye, you couldn't see them.
Nope.
But for the long exposure, like an hour, oh my gosh, I'd never seen so many stars in my life until I did that.
Yeah, now 150 years ago, you'd have seen those stars.
Oh yeah. Even my dad would say at night when the Philippines, when he was in combat, it was so dark that you couldn't see anything. All you could see was the sky light up. But when the moon came out, they said it was like almost like daylight. And sometimes, but that was close to the hemisphere or closer to a certain time of the year that made that difference. But even my grandson, I got him interested in astronomy and constellations. I found an app called Sky Map. And when he sees the moon or he sees a new star or the first star at night, he'll always ask for my camera because I'm the only one that has a Sky Map on it. So anything to keep him interested in different things, it's good for me.
Yeah, Roadrunner is saying he's published 600 plus. I'm not sure what you mean there. You'll have to expand a little bit. I've never had any of my pictures go in anything special, but I did have several of my furniture pieces and a couple of my kitchens go in Architectural Digest.
Oh, geez. I must have seen that because I used to have that for years.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in there quite a few times.
Mike says that he uses just a 4 megapixel. You can zoom in close-up settings, but even the magnifier over the lens. Otherwise, it will not focus using zoom.
Yeah, Mike 2.5 did great pictures of close-ups for coins and stuff.
Mike, are you still taking pictures right now of coins?
Yeah, he had sent,
still doing it?
And they were great shots.
Wow.
But you got to have the eye for it. If you don't have the eye for lights and shadows, which that's what photography is, it's lights and shadows.
My favorite magazine of all time is National Geographic's and Life magazine when it was around, and Look magazine because the photography was amazing at times when they did, underwater shots or safaris or, bird flocks and migrations. I used to listen to Paul Harvey, and he would talk about today in this magazine of National Geographic's. Look on page, and I would go and find it, and sure enough, it was some nice photography.
Yeah, I have them from the 1800s, or well, early 1900s. I'm not sure if I have 1800 ones.
Isn't there a CD box you can get of all the magazines up to the start of it, the very first National Geographics?
Yeah, I actually bought that for my dad, and he loved the magazine. He never once pulled that out of the box. I was so
No.
he died. I got it back, and it was still completely sealed.
Wow. Have you ever opened it?
Yeah,
Good,
it's
good,
a
good.
great one. I love looking at some of the very first ones.
I think you could I think I'm not sure, but I think you can go online somewhere and find National Geographics, the whole series
Oh,
from
sure.
day one till now. That's what I make my kids read, National Geographics.
Well, I'd be interested in the museum pictures. Yeah, and I actually, well, it'd give away my location, but there was a big accident, and
Hey, Cajun, come on in.
I actually had video of the accident that they ended up, well, they confiscated it basically, but um, I had video of the accident and somebody perished, so it was a pretty sad thing. But I was just lucky that I had my camera pointed for. I think I was doing like 8 hours at a time of a building of a big bridge, and yeah, there was a big accident on it.
And you caught it on film?
Yeah, I didn't even know I had it until it showed up in the news. And so then I searched through it and let them know I had it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the family thanked me big time because it helped them win their settlement.
Right. Wow.
And they had said originally, because on the news it had said that it was his fault, and it turned out to be
Oh,
far.
the family member?
Yeah,
Oh no.
it turned out to be far from his fault, and in fact, the company ended up they found out that there was all kinds of strikes against them in other company that they had ran other companies under other names, and then every time they lost their license, they'd just open under another name.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I lost my best man 10 days before I got married. He was also my first cousin, and he passed away with wow, it's been 38 years now. But he was a sergeant, staff sergeant with the Air Force, and he was going back to base. And he lives in Merced, where the old base used to be, and they closed that down. But they bought a house, and by the time they closed that base down, he just traveled, 5 days a week. I'm sorry, 5 days a week he would work at the base, and then on weekends he would come home. But this Friday night, he was supposed to be going back to the base, and some drunk driver being chased by cops came down the off ramp and hit him head on.
Oh,
And the only reason he passed away is because they couldn't get him out. They didn't have the jaws of life in those days, or else he would have survived. Hey, Cajun.
Hey, how y'all doing?
doing good.
We're doing all right.
Been wondering about you.
Oh, I was taking a little nap. I was tired. And let's see, I know one time I wasn't feeling swell. My son showed up early and woke me up. I had went to bed late and he got me up real early, so I was kind of fatigued, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he was on his way to Arkansas. He got a new Jeep, a new Grand Cherokee.
Nice.
His other Trailhawk was still in the shop. He's only been having it 6 months. Still in the shop. After like 3 months or something. So he got a loaner vehicle and it was a Jeep Grand, and it was a 2019. He liked it, so he had it a couple of weeks. He brought it back, and I think he brought, yeah, he had the Grand when he came here and bought Mrs. laptop. So however long I've been going live on the laptop, that's how long he drove the Grand for. So he went back yesterday and told him, how much is this? How much is a brand new one like this? And they gave him a price, and he didn't have to pay anything. In fact, his tax and title license was free because the amount they gave him for his and the sale price.
Cool.
Plus the sale price. They had some kind of incentive thing going on. So he actually, they gave him a little bit more for his Jeep. It was almost an even swap. You don't see that too often at a dealership.
Well, how do you do that?
He knew the salesman real good. They went to school together. So he gave him all them incentives and discounts and stuff like that. I'm going to have to wait a little while, Mike, on those.
My next door neighbor always buy his cars wholesale because he knows a guy who's a broker for the dealerships. So he sells them. He's like the middle guy, and I don't know if it's true or not, but he just bought the big Mercedes-Benz SUV one, the one with a 6-cylinder in it, the big massive one. I forget what it is. Anyway, he never pays retail. He says.
Oh, no. Yeah. Never.
Andrew, if you want to put the number up for your item, I'll put it up on screen. Andrew's got a W quarter up on eBay.
Really? 11 hours left. The bid's at $39.99. Nice.
And I think it's a MS66.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody, Mike Badger's talking about seated quarters.
Yeah, he's got 2 quarters for $20. If you want them midnight, you can jump on them. I was gonna get them in about a week or so, but you can jump on them. They nice, I mean, they worth $20. Put it that way. They're worth more than $20.
Oh, it's an American one. Cool. Well, Cajun, I'm glad you came on. I was going to cut it kind of short tonight. I didn't want to push too much. And
Well, you only been on 2 hours and some, two and a half.
yeah, but I think I'm going to shut it down here and let you take over if you want to do a stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a minute too. I'm gonna stick with a timetable like Rich does.
Well, I'm just trying.
Yeah.
Started, but
Hey, when I retire, Rich, you can keep me up as long as you want.
all righty.
And I'll send you my address. I'm gonna do an email right now, and I'll send you my home address. Okay.
Well, I wanted to try to do a 48-hour stream, so
What?
yeah.
Richard.
3 and 4 days of sleep before, so
Oh, I see.
2 days shouldn't be an issue, but we'll see.
Well, count me in for a couple of those hours every either 8 hours.
There you
Yeah.
go. That'll work. Hey, Victoria, thank you.
Okay.
And everybody, thanks for joining and chatting away here. I've enjoyed the chat with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rich. Yeah, I'll start a stream up.
Okay, everybody, look for Cajun stream.
I'll come near your stream for a minute, Cajun, and then I'll call it a night.
I'll probably hop over there long enough to put a like on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to do that too. Hold on. Okay, got a mic on you.
Midnight Silver Run, and David was lurking. You big lurker.
Who was?
Been part of the
Hey,
conversation.
David. Where you been hiding, son?
He's always in the background.
Uh,
You just need to say the right thing, mention something about history or one of his favorite topics, and he jumps in there.
well, I talked to my wife. She's really supporting me on this coin stuff there, Rich. She told me I need to get a safe later on when I start getting more things. She said that I wanted to go to the coin show in Long Beach in February, the big one. I told her about going to with Napa Valley for her wine thing. So we're discussing about traveling to California a little bit more.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, I better let you go. I'm gonna see KG for a little bit, and then I'm gonna head to bed.
Alrighty.
All right. Good night.
David, Victoria, Midnight, all you guys in the background, thank you.
Andrew, everybody, same thing. Victoria Carter, thank you. David Carlisle, talk to you guys later.
Mike Bad.
Tomorrow, everybody, be there at 4:00. Michael Kittle's Rare Coins hosting the channel.
Andrew. Take it easy, guys.
Midnight Silver Run. Good night, all.
I did answer your email, Roadrunner, so you might check if you haven't. Bye, guys.